See, this was a query raised by Vatsala. Derive the Coulomb's law in vector form when q1 q2 is greater than 0. See, that means both the charges were either positive or negative. So we have taken two charges. If let's say they are positive, so they will be repelling each other. So this side one force and this side another force. So this is F21. F21 means force on 2 due to 1. Which charge is pushing this charge this side? That is first charge. So force on 2 due to 1, and this is force on 1 due to 2. This is R12 unit vector. That means position. Where this is the unit vector pointing from charge 1 to 2. So when we are writing force, like suppose if I say F21, what is F21 in vector form? If I am writing, it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square. Okay, r square I can write, but r square in r12, and here, just to make it a vector, I need to write it r12. Why I have chosen to write it r12? Because this force is towards this side, that means pointing from q1 to q2. So I have taken r12 unit vector. And similarly, if I write it again, q1 q2 r12 square. And how do you write a unit vector? You write a unit vector as a vector upon its magnitude, right? Magnitude means you can write it simply r, like here we have written without an vector here. So this is your r12. Instead of r, simply I'll write r12, and here would be r12, but here this would be vector. So we have 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r12 cube, and here is r12 vector. Similarly, if I find for f12, this would be just reverse of this. Instead of rest of the things are same, instead of r12 it would be r21 cube here and r21 vector. Clear? So this is the case. This query came from Vartika. Why electrostatic force act along the line joining the charges, or we can say why Coulomb forces acts only along the line joining the charges. See, when we are writing the Coulomb's law in vector form, how we were writing it? We were writing it as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square, and here we were writing r unit vector. So in this equation you can see it depends only on the distance between the two charges. If let's say this is the distance, so here in the formula only the distance is coming. It does not depend on the angular position of this charge or this charge with respect to each other, right? So that's why we are calling it acts only along the line joining. Even one more way you can answer is when we are writing the properties of Coulomb's law, we always say they are called central forces, or even you can, in the question can come vice versa also, why they are called central forces. So I can say, since they are acting along the line joining, we use a term central forces. Central forces means the forces are either towards or away from the charges. That means if this is a positive, they'll be away from the charge, from this charge, and if they are positive negative, it will be towards the charge. So this way also you can write the answer as. The second query was from Shaurya Pratap. He has asked about what is a dielectric constant and dielectric constant for air. See, dielectric constant or relative permittivity, both are the same thing. This K is your, either you call it force between two charges separated in vacuum, to the force. Actually it is a ratio of two forces when the forces are separated in vacuum and when the forces are separated by medium, or it is the ratio of permittivity of medium to the permittivity in free space, right? So for k for air is your 1.006. For vacuum it is 1. Now, what is actually the significance of it? Suppose if we are finding the force for the medium, so what it would be according to this formula? It would be Fo upon K. So as the value of dielectric would keep on increasing, this dielectric constant, that means as the value of K will keep on increasing. Like for glass, it is 3 to 4, for mica, it is 3 to 6, for water, it is 81. As we keep on increasing this value, the force between the charges would keep on decreasing. Force between the charges when placed in the medium will keep on decreasing. So, this is the significance of dielectric constant.